What's up, people? Welcome to the first episode of You Might Be Surprised. What's up? Welcome to my very first episode of my very first podcast called You Might Be Surprised. How's everyone doing? If you're watching on video, I didn't know what I should wear. I contemplated putting on something nice, and I contemplated just like a normal style. So I threw on this jacket that I've had, and then I threw on a navy shirt. And I was like, screw it, they're not going to see my bottom half. So I'm naked underneath. I'm just kidding, I'm wearing jeans. But yeah, I'm wearing shoes inside. Does anyone else wear shoes inside? I don't know. This whole corona thing is making me go absolutely crazy. I can't think straight. I think in short term and not long term. Constantly just thinking about getting towards the next day and stuff. And I think things are getting better. I don't know about you, or I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty young, so it's a corona's affecting me, but it's not affecting me to where like my whole life is being destroyed. So I don't have a family of my own. I don't have to provide. Just have to worry about me and myself. I do live at home with my mom and dad. Funny enough, I just graduated college, so don't yell at me too much. Um, so I guess I worry about them and stuff. And I would say I've been doing my part. I've been staying inside. I've been keeping away from people. I haven't drove my car in 2 weeks. I personally haven't gone to the grocery store. Tomorrow will be my first day seeing other humans besides my family in 2 weeks. So this thing's scary. I mean, I don't. The only thing that I can think that compares to this is 9/11, and I was so young then that I don't even know if that's even comparable. But man, I didn't think. I was new. I was like deep down knew that I had a feeling that something was gonna happen, but I didn't think people were gonna freak out about the toilet paper first. I thought like the fruits, the vegetables. No, people are stupider than you think. They went right for the toilet paper. Like, why? You're really shitting that much? Like, when this thing first started popping off, the memes of people getting toilet paper. I don't know if you guys saw the meme of um, the dude that loaded up his van full, probably like 20 rolls of toilet paper. What? How much are you shitting? What are you eating? McDonald's? And to the people who bought all that, you know they're eating at McDonald's. You know they're going through the drive through, getting their two double quarter pounders, that large fry, and they're eating that while they sit and watch the news and say, well, I'm good. I got 50 things of toilet paper. As when they get done, they're just having diarrhea. That's what diarrhea sounds like. And they're just destroying their toilets. It's like Super Size Me meets Corona. I don't know. I was just so surprised. I'll tell you one thing though. Corona's been making me spend so much time on my phone. So much time on my phone. I got my daily, or not my daily, my weekly recap on my phone. And normally I'm at like 3.5 to 4 back when I was being normal, which I thought was a lot. And I would see that and it'd make me feel bad about myself. It made me feel like I'm not doing anything with my life. Or it just made me feel that like I'm a part of my generation that's constantly looking on the phone. But when you don't have anything to do, my daily report last week was like 8 hours a day, dude. And I was working 8 hours a day. And I don't touch my phone when I work. I gotta make that money. So this is after I work 8 hours a day. I'm putting in double shifts, refreshing Instagram, Twitter. That's my Twitter thing when you pull down and you can't go any further. I don't even know if that's the right sound. And I'll tell you what, I'm seeing the same things. I'm seeing workout videos. I'm seeing TikToks. I think I've seen every single TikTok, especially from the people that you follow that are posting TikToks and you know they shouldn't be because they're horrible at it. Oh, I you I will say though, you want to know who's making money right now? Fitness influencers. Fitness influencers are making cheddar. They're making money because you know every single day they're posting a new home workout video. And then the people that do the home workout video post that. And then their friends post the same thing. If I see one more home workout video, I might throw up. I really might. It's ridiculous. I will say, I posted a workout video when this started getting bad. I told people to buy resistance bands and a jump rope so you didn't get bored just doing push-ups and sit-ups and just like body weight workouts. And I posted that. So I did it before it got cool. And no one said anything. And then all of a sudden I started seeing people doing workouts with resistance bands and stuff. I'm like, I was the first one. But yeah, I can't. I will say though, this COVID-19 has challenged me to do something that I would never do if Corona was if Corona wasn't a thing. If you know what Sober October is, I'm doing AFA, what me and my friends call it, Alcohol Free April, even though my one friend's not doing it exactly because it's a bitch. But yeah, so we're not drinking and we're doing something to better ourselves. My thing is starting a podcast because I've always wanted to do it and running a mile every single day. And it's April 7th right now. And I think I've ran like 8.5 miles, maybe 9 miles. Because I did 2 miles one day. 3 of the days I did 1.5 miles or like 1.34. And I'm honestly feeling pretty good about it. And I know after I get done with work, I can just go and run a mile. Takes the fastest I've done is 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And the slowest I think was like almost 10. And even when I'm not doing it fast, I feel good. I feel better running than I do when I work out and lift weights. I don't know. It's just something about running. I think what's weird is I know it's only day 7, but I thought I was going to lose a lot of my muscle. And I've noticed, I don't know if I'm running correctly, but like I tense up a lot when I run. So like today I was like, why does my back hurt? I feel like I did rows, like 10 sets of rows yesterday. But I think it's just probably because I'm sitting in a chair all day and then running and the pounding of my feet. So that's what I think. And what's weird is so I'm 23, and I would say since I've turned 21, I think I've had at least one drink of alcohol every single day. Or not every single day, holy moly. At least one drink a week. And when I was in college, it was multiple drinks every week. But I've at least had one drink per week since college. And it's not challenging to not drink because after I've graduated, I don't party as much, and it's a lot harder to like go out and party because your boy has responsibilities. But telling myself that I can't drink makes me want to drink. And recently I've gotten into whiskeys because it's your boys growing up. And I've been watching comedy specials on the weekends before April. I was watching a couple comedy specials at night on the weekends and having a glass of whiskey. And it was amazing. I loved it. And now not being able to do that is kind of a downer. But also it's like I don't need it. But when I tell myself I can't have it, I crave alcohol more. And I don't know why. Because normally I don't drink. I don't drink Monday through Friday. And now I'm craving alcohol like every single day. It's really weird because when you can drink, you don't crave it, but when you do drink, you do crave it. I don't know. It's weird. If you guys have any good whiskeys I should try, let me know. What whiskey do I have? I don't know if it's a whiskey or if it's a bourbon. I had my friends over like a month ago, and we were trying the Bud Light seltzers, and my one friend got a whiskey, I think, or a bourbon, and it has a turkey on it. And when I first tried having whiskey, I had it straight, and I was like, ugh, I don't like the taste. And then I tried it again with ice and just like two finger lengths, maybe like a finger length. And I actually forgot about it and I let it sit there and the ice melted like just a little bit. And I was like, oh, I now understand. I was like, this is very, very dangerous. So yeah, I need new whiskeys. A lot of the pot or if you guys listen to Brendan Schaub, which I'm sure you do, he goes on this rant about Japanese whiskeys. So I think once alcohol-free April is done, I'm probably gonna go and grab some uh, Japanese whiskey. So, what's next? It's my first podcast, so you guys can't get too mad at me for like not knowing exactly what I want to talk about. One of the reasons why I'm starting this podcast, just like in general, is I want to dabble in comedy. And I've been listening to comedy podcasts for 3 years now. I first started off with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan led me to Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer led me to Tom Segura. Somehow, well, Joe Rogan also led me to Brendan Schaub. And then I really liked him, found out that he had his podcast, The Fighter and the Kid. Was listening to that, then King and the Sting with Theo Vaughn, and pretty much all the comedy podcasts that are out there with big name comedians I listen to. And I think when you have a comedian in your ear practically every single day, if not 1 to 3 times a week listening to podcasts, you get to just like envy their lifestyle. Bro, I knew I was going to get a phone call. I knew I was going to get a phone call in the middle of recording this. So where was I? Yeah, so having a comedian in your ear for 3 years, you pretty much get the sense that their lifestyle that they live is a lifestyle that everybody wants. And not saying that I'm doing this so I can live a certain lifestyle. I'm doing it for myself because I think I'm putting like a snippet at the beginning of this podcast. If I do or if I don't, I have a speech impediment. I have a stutter that has luckily not come up that much throughout this podcast. That has kind of like hindered my ability of public speaking. And I think it would be amazing / hilarious if I can somehow transition myself into doing some sort of public speaking for a job, just to prove to myself that even though I have something that should technically hold me back, and should shove me down into the dirt and kick me and tell me I deserve a desk job, I don't deserve anything. If I can somehow create a career out of speaking, that's like the biggest fuck you to my speech impediment. So I'm doing this for me, and I'm gonna try comedy for myself, and I'm just doing this podcast for myself. That being said, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I think I have the mental capacity for it. It's just trying it. So it's kind of hard for me to base this off of because I haven't done comedy yet. But I've been writing jokes. So whenever this quarantine is up, I'm going to go to Milwaukee because that's my closest city. And I'm going to do an open mic. And I'm not going to tell any of my friends. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do it. And I will definitely let this podcast know how it goes and going up to it about how I feel about my 5 minutes, because I doubt that I will have any more time to do than 5 minutes. And yeah, I'm gonna do it. I've already set my mind to creating a weekly podcast, and I've set my mind to running a mile a day. And I think in life, if you just set goals, snowball effect. And if it doesn't work out, I hope it projects me into doing something better with my life. So now that my rant is over, I want to talk about comedy. Have you guys watched Hey Big Boy, Bert Kreischer's special? Hilarious. Spoiler alert, he has a joke about going into a coffee shop. That made me laugh so hard. I love goofy jokes I just love goofy jokes. And whenever I watch Bert Kreischer, I feel like I need to live more. He's done so much in his life. Like, you can probably name anything, and he's probably tried it. He joined the Russian mafia. He does comedy. He has a family. He's probably done every single drug known to man. And that's what makes him a good comedian, is because he has a really good eye for funny things, because he's been in weird, crazy situations. And I've been in weird, crazy situations too. For only being 23, I have tons of stories that I will soon share, but not today. And then who else's specials came out that I've watched? I love the comedians. Like, in a weird way, it's kind of perfect for, oh yeah, it's kind of perfect for Bert Kreischer's special to come out, Tom Segura's special to come out, and Chris D'Elia's No Pain comes out next week or 2 weeks from now. And who else have I watched? Pete Davidson. I loved his special. I Pete Davidson was probably the first comedian that I really listened to, and I think it's probably because of like the whole Saturday Night Live thing. Is it Saturday Night Live? I don't know. I don't watch normal TV, but like I think that was his first. Pete Davidson and Dane Cook. Dane Cook's joke of the atheist joke. I used to have his. I downloaded his hour set that he had on iTunes, and I used to like run through that like every single day. It just because it was so funny. Oh, yeah, his atheist joke is hilarious, and oh, but yeah, Pete Davidson, Tom. I watched Pete Davidson's first, and then a couple of weeks later, Bert Kreischer's, and then Tom Segura's. Um, I wasn't really a big fan of Tom Segura at first. One of my friends kept on saying, like, bro, if you like Bert Kreischer, you will like Tom Segura. And I was like, I think it's because I just didn't like his appearance at first. And I watched all of his specials, and he's top three now for me. I love Tom Segura. His his Mike Tyson impersonation gets me every single time. Where it's like, hey Tom, just doing it just makes me laugh. And then yeah, I can't wait for Chris D'Elia's. You want to know who I've never listened to? Like when I really started getting into comedy, the whole thing with Louis C.K. happened, and I was like younger at the time, and I didn't really understand what the whole Me Too thing was. So when all that was happening, I pretty much just was like, oh, he's a bad guy. Don't listen to him. And since then, I haven't really listened, but I know people that think he's the best of the best, and all I hear from comedians is the best of the best. And I hear his new special, Murders. So I'm gonna watch that this weekend, and for episode 2, I will let you guys know what I think. So also what I want to do with this podcast is I want to like do like funny news articles or current events and stuff and just talk, because there's not much a single podcast can do. Or like I guess I could do like a Chris D'Elia thing where I just talk for an hour straight, but I want to engage with an audience. I know I'm just building this podcast, so I won't have much engagement, but I think for episode 2, I'm gonna get an email link where you can email me questions and things like that. Just so you know, it's not just gonna be just like ranting for like an hour. I want to have some structure to this, and I haven't really found it out. To be honest, I'm winging this, but like I'm winging it. I'm winging it kind of. It's like a planned wing. I was like, I have so much time with this coronavirus. I might as well do something that I would never do, because I don't think I'd ever start a podcast if I didn't have so much time. And now that I'm doing it, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. So if you like what you've heard so far or watched, I know if you're watching or if you're just listening to this, I didn't realize that most of the time I was looking down and not looking into the camera. So that's not very engaging. um, yeah, dude. Let me know in the comments or just wherever what you guys have been doing during this whole Corona thing. Um, I do know somebody's. I do know somebody who has it, and it's in the very early stages of it. So I don't really know much, but it's a tragedy, man. I'm not too worried about Corona. I know this whole podcast has been about Corona, but the one thing I am worried about is what comes after this. Because like this is such a like, don't get me wrong, it's horrible, and the people who have suffered, like, my heart goes to their families. I'm nervous what comes after this. I've always kind of like pictured in my head when I'm 50 or something, the world's just gonna be overtaken by AI or be in a huge war. I hope not. Or just I was just like saw like the world that we're living in as just like not collapsing, but just like something big's gonna happen. I just I have a gut feeling. I don't know. Stuff's scary. Ah, ah. So I know probably what you guys are wondering. I talked about how bored I've been and how I spend 8 hours on my phone a day. Have I watched Tiger King? And the answer is no. I don't want to watch a gay dude, from what I've heard, a gay dude turn straight dude's gay with meth and other drugs. And I don't want to see him lip sing. For all the people who thought he was singing the songs, I looked up that and I was like, you can't tell that he's not singing these songs? Really? Really, bro? You're telling me a guy with that haircut and that type of facial hair can sing like that? Really? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Um, that's kind of all I have for this first podcast. It's only 30 minutes, which is what I think most of these podcasts will be. I think in time I want them to be longer, and um, I think they can be. But for now, I feel like no one's really gonna tune in to a 30-minute podcast. What? If you're watching on the video, I had to start the recording again for my camera. I thought all right, here's a big question. I was going to end this podcast. Cut question. So I'm going to run down, if you've listened this far, I'm going to run down what I'm recording my podcast stuff with. And if you have suggestions on how I can make it better, let me know. So what's recording the video is a Canon 80D. And the problem with that is it can only record for 30 minutes at a time. So as you can see, the video camera cut off at 30 minutes. How can I make my video camera record longer? That's my question. Next, I have a Pod Pro mic. by Rode, and that is plugged into my PreSonus audio interface into my MacBook Pro, and that is running Audition. And pretty much all I do with this is I'm just going to throw on a noise dampener and mess with the audio. And then, yeah, so like that's what I'm doing. So pretty much my question is, how can I make my camera record longer? If anyone has any suggestions, let me know on my socials. Let me get you my socials. Where's my phone? I changed all my socials so people can find me. Yes, I'm texting. I don't care. So you can follow me and let me know on Instagram at Chris Lynch, or on Twitter _Chris Lynch. So yeah, just let me know if there's any way I can make my camera record longer. If not, I'm gonna have to start setting a timer just so I can record every 30 minutes, and then when it gets close, chop it up. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I think once we get going, and especially when I start doing comedy, it'll be kind of fun to kind of have a podcast where that documents my experience in comedy. And maybe this podcast will start off as me wanting to do comedy, but it might transition into me doing like something else. I like, for example, I love video games. I could stream. I could do a bunch of stuff. So if you guys like this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please follow the link if you're watching it on Spotify or iTunes. Please follow, and I will be uploading the podcast every Monday. And if it's not on Monday, it's going to be on Tuesday. So that's my goal, is to upload it every week. And if these get popular enough, we can do 2 weeks. And if you guys like see something that like you want me to like go into more, just let me know. Like I'm doing this for myself, but I'm also want to interact with people. And I think, like, going back to my speech impediment, like my whole life I've like had an opinion, or like I've never been able to voice my opinions because I've been made fun of a lot for it. So like whenever I feel uncomfortable, I just shut down. So having something like this that I can just talk to is just nice. So if you see something that I say and you want me to talk about it more, just let me know. What's nice about having a small podcast is the community. If there's 5 of you that listen every single week, you can say something and I will read it and most likely talk about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this very first episode. Don't forget to follow me. Links are all in the description down below. Or if you're listening to this, they're still down below in the podcast description. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And also, I'm going to end each podcast the exact same way, as in this sentence. I'm so bad at transitioning. Try something new. You might be surprised what happens. You see what I did there? Thank you guys. I don't know. I literally said ha ha ha. Just try something new. You might be surprised on what happens. Thank you for watching. This has been Chris. I'm out.